I have been in love with Leo for 8 years. On the eve of the wedding, a general manager Lee sent him a message. Tomorrow is the wedding. Don't you want something exciting tonight? He kissed my cheek gently. Sorry, something suddenly came up at the company. I'll make it up to you well after we get married. I felt nauseous in my stomach, but pretended to be nonchalant. After smiling and seeing him off, I informed everyone that the wedding was cancelled. On the eve of the wedding, red and pink double happiness signs can be seen everywhere. On the table, on the ground, and in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, professionals have arranged elegant bouquets and flower waterfalls, filling the air with fragrance. Seeing my face full of sweetness, Lena teased, "So happy?" I put my arm around hers. "Lena, don't tease me anymore. I'm really nervous now." She tapped my forehead and chuckled. After chatting with Lena about family matters for a while, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Leo. "Are they all gone?" Sneaky.jpg. I stole a glance at Lena. She was about to go home. When she reached the door, she held me. "Lacey, don't blame me for being talkative. Don't meet Xiaolu tonight. It's not good for after marriage." Thinking of that message just now, I sent her out guiltily. "I remember. Lena, be careful on your way back." She smiled and said okay and left. I replied to Leo, "They're all gone." Before long, he sneaked up. He seemed very happy but was trying hard to restrain himself. The whole person was very coy. "Lacey, I brought you a cake." I couldn't help but find it funny when I saw Leo entering with his hands and feet in sync. "So nervous?" "Of course. My palms are all sweaty. You don't know. Just now, I tiptoed even lighter than a cat." He let out a long sigh. He looked quite convincing. I couldn't help laughing. "Let's eat first." He unpacked the cake and handed it to me. Just like always, he was gentle and considerate. To be honest, I was also very nervous. On an impulse, "I'll eat first. You go and wash." Leo looked surprised, then had a naughty smile. I instantly reacted and my face flushed instantly. "I didn't mean that." He rubbed my head and said softly, "I know. It's just right for me to calm down too." Looking at his back, my heart was sweeter than the cake in my mouth. Not long after Leo went in, his phone rang. I unconsciously glanced at it. It was a voice message. The note on the page was General Manager Lee, and even the profile picture was a landscape picture. But I just felt something was wrong for no reason. Out of trust in Leo, I usually don't look through his phone. But today it was as if I was under some kind of spell. Looking at the blurry figure in the bathroom, I clicked into the dialog box with General Manager Lee. A seductive voice came, "Brother Leo, tomorrow is the wedding. Don't you want something exciting tonight?" I held my breath. It was as if a hand was tightly grasping my heart and I couldn't breathe. I was all too familiar with this voice. It was Renee, the designer of the second group. Leo was having an affair. I tried hard to control my shaky fingers and scrolled up little by little. Leo was just like when he was in the honeymoon period with me towards her. He replied instantly, with a gentle tone, and did what he said. There were only more transfers of 520 and 1314. Finally, my sight was fixed on the conversation a week ago. "Renee, I'm home. It's all your fault. I still feel pain now." "Leo, isn't it you, little vixen, who deliberately seduced me?" "Renee, humph. Don't you like it too? Let's try over there at the glass room next time? It must be very exciting." "Leo, little slut. Haven't I satisfied you this time?" "Renee, people will be shy too." I was stunned for a moment. It was very hard to connect this person with Leo. I just felt a turmoil in my stomach. For 8 years from college until now, he has always been gentle and restrained towards me. Others are extremely envious. I never thought he would be such a person. The conversation between the two kept replaying in my mind, making me unable to stop retching. My nose was sour and tears seemed to well up in the next second. I bit my fist tightly to prevent myself from making a sound. I don't know how long it took. I forced myself to calm down. I recorded the screen expressionlessly and marked that message as unread. When Leo came out, everything was as before. There was half-eaten cake on the table. What's wrong? Is it not to your taste? I carefully traced his eyebrows and eyes, but couldn't see any emotion other than concern. He seemed to really love me. But if he really loved me, what were those messages? I held back the nausea and replied to him with a smile as always, I ate too much at night. Leo rubbed my head, you are still like a child. I hid the constantly surging disgust in my heart and let him hold my hand and snuggle on the sofa. Leo gently held me. His slender fingers played with my hair. Didn't you always want to have a dog? After we get married, we will pick one. During the day, we go to work. At night, we go for a walk and walk the dog. On weekends, we stay at home and watch a movie or cook a meal together. When we take annual leave, we can travel around the world. What he said, how much I yearned for it before, now how disgusting it is. As Leo spoke, his loving eyes looked deeply into my eyes. He slowly lowered his head and wanted to kiss me, but I avoided it without a trace. What's wrong? You haven't been right tonight. Are you uncomfortable? Maybe I ate something bad at night. I lowered my eyes and casually found a reason to perfunctory. Just then, Leo's phone rang. The display on the screen was General Manager Lee. I'll answer the phone first. I nodded sensibly and watched him lean against the glass door on the balcony. His eyebrows and eyes were softer than the moonlight. The flowers beside him all became dazzling. My fingertips sank into the flesh. My heart ached like being pricked by needles. After answering the phone, Leo prepared medicine for gastrointestinal discomfort for me. Then he kissed my cheek gently. Sorry, something suddenly came up on General Manager Lee's side. After you take the medicine, go to bed early. Tomorrow's wedding will be very tiring. Looking at his eyes full of love and concern, I only felt a chill. If I hadn't found out tonight, how long would I have been deceived by his good acting? I smiled and saw him off. At the moment of closing the door, there was no emotion on my face. After simply dealing with the wound on my hand, I tore off all the decorations in anger. I took out and threw away one by one the clothes and items prepared for the wedding. But as I threw them, tears blurred my eyes. Tears dropped in large drops. The belated emotions rushed towards me like a tide. I hugged the trash can and cried until I retched. In a trance, it seemed as if I saw the day we first met. The sun was just right. Leo ran towards me from a spring scene. He wanted to carry me to the infirmary. Looking at the scattered express deliveries on the ground, I shook my head. No way. There are still many classmates waiting. He stared at me for a long time and chuckled. I'll take you to bandage first, and then accompany you to deliver them. Is that okay? Leo paused and then said, it won't take a long time. I somehow put my hand on his and replied, okay. Just like the spring light on that day, he integrated into every bit of my life. He accompanied me through the darkest years. At that time, I thought I had a beam of light and was redeemed. After packing up the last thing, I wiped away my tears. No one in this world will be someone else's light. The one who can illuminate oneself has always been oneself only. I called my boss Lena and told her that tomorrow's wedding was cancelled. She didn't ask anything. She just changed my wedding leave to annual leave. I booked a plane ticket to Salzburg and took my luggage and rushed to the airport. There was a very thick fog outside. I stood in the fog and couldn't find my way back. At Mozart Airport in Austria, there was heavy snow everywhere. When I picked up my luggage and went to take bus number 2, I was stopped by the staff. Excuse me, ma'am. It seems that you took the wrong luggage with another gentleman's. I was stunned for a moment and quickly checked the checked luggage tag on the suitcase. Shenqing Chuan at the lower right corner of the suitcase, there was also no blue-colored fringed butterfly that I had pasted. I really took the wrong one. Just as I was about to ask where to exchange it, a clear voice came from behind, refreshing like spring water. Excuse me, Mississippi. I think we've got the wrong luggage. I turned and looked. It was a very handsome man. He had black curly hair like seaweed, a high nose bridge, rosy lips, and a pair of eyes brighter than the stars in the sky. I quickly pushed the suitcase in my hand over and apologized with a smile, sorry. The two suitcases are too similar. I took the wrong one accidentally. His eyes lit up. He handed me my suitcase and his smile was full of unrestraint and arrogance. It doesn't matter. I didn't notice either. But how did you determine that I am Chinese? I pointed to the checked luggage tag. He understood and smiled. Are you here for tourism? Yes. Are you too? I replied politely. The man nodded slightly, sort of. Bus number 2 just arrived. Seeing that he had no intention of getting on, I pulled my suitcase and waved at him. Have a good trip. After the bus left, I casually glanced out. The man was still standing there. Matching with the snow seen in the distance, he was like an elf who had fallen into the mortal world. After arriving at the homestay, I fell asleep immediately. When I woke up, the sun outside was about to set. Looking at my phone, Leo had sent many messages. I didn't read them, didn't reply, and didn't block him either. In such a situation where he knows nothing and is jilted at the altar and can't be contacted, what will he be like? Angry, uneasy, or fearful? It doesn't matter anymore. I simply tidied up. According to the guide given by the homestay owner, I walked all the way to the viewing platform opposite Salzburg Fortress. The fiery red sunset glow and the blue-purple sky gently wrapped this ancient city, bringing a certain passionate romance. I took out my small watercolor box and sketchbook that I carried with me. I adjusted the colors and traced them bit by bit. Grandma's departure seemed to have planted a demon in my heart. Since then, it has been difficult for the designed works to have spirituality again. It has been 8 years since I was astonishing at the beginning in school to being unknown now. I should also come out. After the last stroke was done, a strange yet familiar voice came from the side. What you painted doesn't seem to be the scenery here. I looked sideways. A handsome face was almost close at hand, startling me so much that I took several steps back. Only when I came to my senses did I realize that it was the man I met at the airport in the morning. It's you? He raised his eyebrows slightly. His smile was unrestrained. Yes. What a coincidence. I didn't expect to meet again so soon. Since we are so destined, let's get to know each other. I'm Sean. Qing as in Qingchuan, and Chuan as in mountains and rivers. Although it is a very quiet name, it strangely matches the unrestrained man in front of me. Perhaps being in a foreign country, there is always a sense of closeness when meeting fellow countrymen. I put away my sketchbook and replied to him with a smile, I'm Lacey. Sean's eyebrows were lowered. There seemed to be a hint of softness in his beautiful eyes. Is it she as in cherish? Suddenly, the image of Grandma calling me with a smile appeared in my mind. I looked at the brightly lit city opposite. Yes. It's she as in cherish. I am the child Grandma cherishes the most. Do you want to exchange contact information? He put his hands on the fence, with a lazy posture. I was stunned for a moment. We are just passing by. No need. Sean didn't insist either. He just looked at me. The fiery red glow was reflected in his eyes. What if we meet again next time? How about traveling together? I don't know if it was the glow in his eyes that was too gorgeous. I absent-mindedly replied with a good. The next day, I got up very early and walked around Salzburg alone, writing and drawing. Salzburg is backed by the Alps. Stone buildings of various colors are scattered at different heights. Walking on the charming streets makes people relax both physically and mentally. Today's weather is very good. The sun has just the right temperature. While strolling, in a small apartment next to Mirabel Garden, I found a lush high slope. There was a thin figure playing the cello with his back to me. The deep and stable sound of the cello was like an elegant gentleman telling a deep and complex mood. Looking from a distance, the green grass, the holy snow-capped mountain and the thin figure under the tree merged into a beautiful painting. I recorded this scene with my camera, and then walked step by step towards the source of the sound. When I saw clearly the person's appearance, he just finished playing a piece of music. Applause rang out around, and I immediately bumped into his smiling eyes. We meet again, Lacey. Sean successfully joined my travel team. Only then did I know that he was also looking for inspiration. However, his family seemed to sneer at his pursuit. We were surprisingly in harmony. Although we had only known each other for a few days, we were like old friends for many years. Sometimes just a look can make us understand what the other person is thinking. We watched the sunrise at Salzburg Fortress and walked through the clouds and fog on the cable car to the fairy tale town of St. Gilgen. We strolled leisurely by the lake in St. Wolfgang. It was silent all around. It seemed that only he and I were left between heaven and earth. It wasn't until Leo's voice call came that I finally realized that it was time to return to the real world. It has been 10 days since I ran away from the wedding. It's almost time to make a break. I answered the voice call calmly. Leo was not angry or blaming. His voice was full of fatigue. Lacey, where on earth have you gone? If you are not ready to get married now, we can discuss it well. I interrupted him, with a cold tone. Leo, this wedding can never happen in this lifetime. He immediately became more energetic and his voice rose slightly. What do you mean? I sneered. Isn't one general managerly enough for you? Leo's breathing was slightly stagnant, and his tone was anxious. Lacey, listen to my explanation. It's not what you think. Do you want to say that those transfers and those disgusting words have nothing to do with you? Leo, do you still want to deceive me like a fool until now? Suddenly, Sean beside me patted my shoulder and his voice was clear. The aurora is out. I heard a series of things falling on the other end of the phone. Then Leo asked me in a deep voice, where are you now? I'll come to find you. Before I could reply to him, the surrounding people exclaimed in amazement one after another. The gorgeous and dazzling aurora occupied my entire field of vision. Suddenly I felt that everything was unimportant. There are countless possibilities in the wilderness of my life. Leo is just one of the forks. Even if I took the wrong path, I still have the courage to start over. Leo, we are over. After saying that, I hung up the phone. Sean looked over. A few snowflakes fell on his thick long eyelashes. His eyes were clear. The leaping light behind him danced with the stars all over the sky, as if being in a charming and dangerous illusion. In the last few days of the journey, we went skiing in the Alps. The falling snowflakes gently covered the tall mountains and ski resorts. Everywhere we could see was white. I originally wanted to find a coach to take me. Sean came to intercept. My skiing experience of more than 10 years is definitely enough to take you. To show his reliability, he bought me a turtle butt pad and knee pads. I put them on doubtfully. He took me to the novice slope again. For the first time skiing, wearing skis, I felt like I didn't even know how to walk anymore. Sean's careful guidance gradually made me let down my guard. I didn't expect you to be really reliable. As soon as I finished speaking, I was pressed down by him and my butt landed on the butt pad. I shouted his name and screamed on the slope. After I calmed down, I just gave up and lay all the way to the bottom with the butt pad. Sean chased me all the way on a snowboard. His unrestrained laughter echoed in the mountains. How is it? Is it fun? I forced a fake smile. When I stop later, you will know if it's fun. After being beaten up by me, he became much more honest and started formal teaching. He carefully told me how to maintain balance and control the direction of skiing, and then skied with me again. Sean was very patient, holding my hand, gentle and powerful. Next, it depends on you. Without him by my side, I was a little scared. Looking down from the top of the ski slope, my heart was beating like a drum. After calming down, I summoned up my courage and pushed off the snow and set off. There was the whistling wind in my ears. The snow particles were shining in the sun. At this moment, it was as if I had broken free from all restraints and was freely roaming between heaven and earth. But I was too happy too early. So that when I reached the bend, I didn't have time to brake for a while and slid towards a steeper ski slope. I was a little panicked for a moment. Sean, who was following behind, shouted anxiously, Lacey, lower your center of gravity, lean forward, and press your skis upright with your feet. Before I could do as he said, my body was about to fall forward uncontrollably. Just when I thought I was going to die young, a pair of powerful arms protected me and rolled all the way to the gentle slope. After completely stabilizing, Sean checked me up and down nervously. Only after confirming that I was not injured did he breathe a sigh of relief. Seeing him covered in snow, I laughed inappropriately. He looked at me seriously for a while. In the end, he couldn't help laughing. Lying in the vast snowfield, I only felt an unprecedented carefree mood. Even all the past events were released at this moment. There was even a desire to say something. I put my hands behind my head and looked at the high-hanging sun in the sky. Sean, do you know what a construction site at 3 a.m. looks like? Sean asked me back, with a relaxed tone, what's it like? Gloomy and dim. There are the squeaking sounds of mice in the ears and wild dogs that may pounce on you at any time. He was stunned for a moment and looked at me in surprise. You. I turned to look at him and smiled proudly. I'm super awesome. I picked up the steel bar and drove away those wild dogs. There was full of pity in Sean's clear eyes. But I didn't think it was a big deal because I met Grandma. I'm not a good person. When I was a child and wandered around without food, I would steal steel bars from the construction site and sell them. I was beaten up severely when caught. But it was also because of this that I met Grandma and was taken home by her. Seeing the softness in my eyes, the corners of his lips also regained a smile. Grandma must be very happy to see that you have become so good now. I looked at the falling snowflakes and was silent for a long time. Until a snowflake floated into my eyes. Cold. She can't see it anymore. It seemed that only the rustling sound of snowflakes falling was left between heaven and earth. After a long time, I got up and smiled and reached out to Sean. Let's go. Sister, I'll take you for a few more laps. He looked at me for a moment and then put his hand on mine with a curved eye. Then I'll trouble sister. 06 Early the next morning, I opened the balcony door and took a deep breath of cold air to clear my mind. Not far away is the Alps, white and grand. My phone rang after a long absence. I glanced at it. It was Leo. The original good mood was instantly ruined. I hung up decisively and blacklisted him. While in a daze, snow was thrown up from downstairs. Looking over, Sean was looking up at me and smiling. The sun shone on him as if it had plated a layer of golden light. His tone rose slightly, with a hint of carelessness. Come down quickly. I'll take you to see something. I propped my head and looked at him with a smile. What if I don't? Sean raised his eyebrows and curved his lips. Then I can only enjoy the beautiful scenery by myself. He turned around and was about to leave. I hurriedly called him to stop. I quickly got dressed and went out. He mysteriously covered my eyes. When I could see again, all I could see were crystal clear ice butterflies dancing on the withered branches, thin and curly, emitting a crystal clear white light. I grabbed Sean's arm in surprise. How did you find this place? I only saw it appear in the north on the internet before. I didn't expect to see it here. He was a little proud, the owner of the homestay told me last night. I remembered his sneaky look when he pulled the owner last night. While being moved, I found it a little funny. Thank you. Things are over. Don't worry about me. Sean scratched the back of his head and showed an expression that could be called shy for the first time. I'm not very good at coaxing people. As long as you like it. The corners of my mouth curved unconsciously. I like it very much. The crystal clear ice butterflies flashed with a glimmer, reflecting in our eyes, clear and translucent. In the last days, Sean and I spent time in the homestay. There is a very large music room here, enough for him and me to record inspiration and create together. When I finished drawing the design draft, it was already brightly lit outside. Sean was still polishing his music. The dim light shone on him and the cello, merging with the ancient church outside the window into a breathtaking picture. Thinking like this, I picked up the paintbrush again and traced his appearance bit by bit. After the last stroke was done, Sean also put down his hands that were rubbing the strings and drawing the bow. We looked at each other and smiled across the soft halo. The next day, Sean sent me to the airport. He was still as unrestrained and flamboyant as when we first met. I stuffed the wrapped painting into his arms. A gift for you. You can only look at it after I leave. Sean gently stroked the packaging box, his eyes gentle. Okay. I waved to him. It was a farewell to him and also a farewell to this wonderful journey in a foreign country. Goodbye, Sean. After returning to China, I started creating nonstop. After staying up several late nights, I submitted the final product to Lena. In less than half an hour, Lena took me to her office. Seeing her serious expression, I became a little nervous. She pushed the design draft in front of me and tapped it lightly. It is a long dress suitable for wearing in winter. The dress is largely embroidered with patterns with national characteristics. The neckline is spread with white lace. The sleeves and skirt are slightly gathered, blooming in layers like flowers. When walking, it is like a dancing butterfly. As soon as I opened my mouth, Lena smiled and her eyes narrowed. Lacey, you are simply my great lucky star. This design will definitely sell well when it is newly launched in this quarter. At that time, I will have to benefit from you. I was stunned for a moment and heaved a big sigh of relief. Lena, you almost scared me to death. She walked around to me with a smile and patted me on the shoulder. Haha, just teasing you. I am really happy. What kind of amazing person did you meet in Austria? You have regained the original aura all at once. An amazing person? That beautiful face appeared in my mind. I didn't meet an amazing person, but I did meet someone as beautiful as a fairy. Lena chatted with me a few more words. Before leaving, she called me. You didn't go on your wedding day. Leo completely lost face and was so angry that he wanted to search the whole city. Later, he couldn't find you anywhere and asked me several times. I didn't say anything. What exactly happened between you and him? Angry? It's right to be angry. Lena has always been like a real sister to me. There is no need for me to hide anything from her. Lena, he cheated on me. She opened her mouth and finally just sighed. I smiled and raised my lips. It doesn't matter. It's just screening out a wrong person. On the way home from work, a strange account added me, saying there is some news I'd like to know. Out of curiosity, I agreed to the application. The other party quickly sent a message, all of which were photos of Leo and Renee together. There are photos of them going to the amusement park, having meals, holding hands, kissing, and even some hazy intimate photos. I feel nauseous just looking at them. The person who can send such things to me is undoubtedly Renee. I don't know if she is stupid or if she thinks I am stupid. Just thinking about disgusting me, but the evidence is all delivered to my door. I endured the nausea and sent a message. Renee, if you bother me again, I can't be sure where these photos will appear. There was always typing showing on the other side. I ignored her and saved the photos one by one and then blacklisted her. It was already bad enough. As soon as I entered the house, I saw Leo sitting on the sofa. It is estimated that upon learning the news of my return from the company, he rushed over immediately after finishing a business trip. I took out my phone to call the security guard. Leo seemed to have guessed my thought and came forward to snatch my phone. What are you doing, Leo? His eyes were full of red blood vessels, as if he hadn't slept well for a long time. I don't want to do anything, Lacey. I just want you to come back. Come back, okay? I sneered. Come back? Back to where? Back to you and Renee? Leo froze for a moment. I took the opportunity to snatch back my phone, but he immediately reacted and held me in his arms. The warm breath was exhaled on my ear, almost making me vomit. He seemed crazy and said, "Didn't you cheat too? As long as you come back, I can forgive you for running away from the wedding with another man." I stomped on his foot hard, pushed him away, and laughed angrily. You know very well why I ran away from the wedding. Pouring dirty water on me won't make you seem noble. Leo looked at me, and huge whirlpools were surging in his dark eyes. Who is the man who was talking that day? The man who was talking? I frowned slightly. Only then did I think of Sean calling me when I was answering the phone that day. Too lazy to explain too much to him, I coldly pushed him out of the door. You don't need to care who he is. You just need to know that we have nothing to do with each other anymore. I stretched out my hand to him. Also, give me back the key. Leo's face was livid, as if he wanted to devour me alive. What if I don't give it? Change the lock. Without waiting for his reply, I slammed the door shut and locked it. After Leo left that day, I changed the lock. He didn't come to find me again and maintained a normal distance as colleagues at the company. On the contrary, Renee often came to our team to show off, saying that her boyfriend had bought her this and that again. When asked who her boyfriend was, she was hesitant and didn't say anything. I just watched coldly and didn't expose her. I was busy every day keeping an eye on the production schedule of new products. When the new product was launched, just as I wanted to take a break, I was urgently recalled to the company by Lena. She looked extremely excited and walked around in the office. The dress you designed was an instant hit as soon as it was put on the shelves. Just now, Yunxiang Studio has extended an olive branch to the company. If we can get this opportunity, the chance for you to go to Milan for further studies will most likely be yours. As soon as I heard about Yunxiang Studio, I was wide awake immediately. That is an extremely distinctive studio in the industry. The boss is eccentric, rarely shows up, and rarely cooperates with others. Using the alias Shelley externally, and no one can be sure if it's her real name. If I can take this olive branch this time, it will be a great help for realizing my dream. Not to mention there is also the opportunity to go to Milan for further studies. Only then did Lena continue. The company has made an appointment with Yunxiang. We will go there for discussions today. You must seize this opportunity. I looked at her and nodded firmly. I will definitely live up to your and the company's expectations, Lena. She stopped and came over to pat my head gently. Silly girl, what you can't let down is yourself. There was still half a day until the appointed time. I hurried home to tidy up and dress up to meet Shelley in the best mental state. Yunxiang Studio is located in the city center, quiet amid the hustle and bustle with a serene environment. I rang the doorbell, and a lazy voice came from there. Who is it? Hello, I am Lacey. I have an appointment with you to discuss cooperation today. There seemed to be a moment of hesitation there. No reply came, but the gate opened automatically. I hesitated for a moment, entered, and followed the small flagstone path all the way to the backyard. This place is designed very elegantly, with winding paths leading to secluded spots and unique charm. At the end of the path, under a blooming red plum tree, sat a man. The teacup on the stone table beside him was emitting a slight wisp of steam. He was holding a book. The reflection of the red plum was cast on his face and body, making it hard to see clearly. Sean? I said in surprise. Sean then looked at me. His hair was cut short and combed neatly backward. There was a hint of a smile on his lips. What a coincidence! I also found it surprising. This was already the third time. Originally, I thought we should hardly see each other again in this lifetime. Moreover, isn't he a cellist? How did he become the designer Shelley? Thinking of my experience in Austria, I felt a bit embarrassed and restrained belatedly. I hurriedly bowed to him. I didn't know you were Shelley before. Please forgive me if I offended you. Sean seemed to have heard something rare and circled me with great interest. This is not a big deal. Speaking of which, are you here to discuss cooperation? I nodded obediently, not at all as unrestrained as before. The smile on his lips deepened even more. Do you really want to cooperate with me? I continued to nod obediently. Then it's easy. Call me brother. Me? Just when I was about to endure humiliation and shoulder a heavy burden, a steady voice sounded behind me. Are you Miss Lacey who comes to discuss cooperation? After saying that, he had already walked to my side. He was very tall and had a handsome appearance. He was almost the same as Shelley I had imagined. Sure enough, Sean lied to me. I secretly glared at him. He raised his eyebrows at me complacently. Shelley looked at the interaction between us and was a bit confused. Do you know each other? Sean answered before me. Not only do we know each other, but we are also very familiar. Shelley showed an expression of sudden realization. Are you the Muse of Austria? Hearing him say that, my mind went blank for a moment. Sean quickly covered his mouth and stepped back, his earlobes slightly flushed. Don't listen to his nonsense. Shelley pulled down his hand, gave him a slightly contemptuous look, and then formally introduced to me. I am Shelley. I invited you here to discuss cooperation. You also know this person. Although he is a bit unreliable, he is also one of the bosses here. Okay, they are both people I can't afford to offend. After a simple introduction on both sides, I went to the office with Shelley and discussed the specific cooperation details. After basically confirming the design theme and budget for the next quarter, Sean and I were kicked out. Don't be an eyesore in front of me. 09 Sean and I looked at each other outside the door. He blinked. Are you hungry? I also blinked. Yes. During those days in Austria, our eating habits had basically been figured out by each other. Sean picked up the menu and didn't need to ask me at all. He quickly ordered the dishes. I was a bit unhappy. What if I want to try new flavors? He propped up his head with a smile. If you want to try, then add more. I gave him a fake smile. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. It was a call from my boss. It should be to ask how the cooperation discussion went. I greeted Sean and went outside the private room to answer the phone. As soon as I finished reporting the situation, I saw a familiar figure walking not far away. Renee saw that I wanted to enter the private room and immediately stopped me. There seems to be nothing to say between us, I said impatiently. She chuckled. I just came to persuade you not to try to snatch the opportunity to study in Milan from me. Hearing her say that, I couldn't help laughing. Why should I listen to you? You just had a slightly famous work. What can you compare with me? Renee picked up a lock of my hair and looked at me mockingly. She was right. In my state of previous years, it was really difficult. But opportunities are all fought for, aren't they? I pulled back my hair and twirled it around my fingertip. How would you know if you don't try? You come to me now. Aren't you also afraid? Renee's eyes sharpened. But in an instant, she was like a different person. She weakly wiped the corner of her eye. I know Sister Lacey doesn't like me, but I just fell in love. Although it's wrong, it's excusable, isn't it? Moreover, people's hearts will change. Brother Leo just followed his own heart. We really need your blessing. I was almost angered by her to the point of laughing. Although I don't know what act she is putting on, it doesn't prevent me from wanting to scold her. I leaned against the wall and sneered. Others establish themselves at 30. But in your early 20s, you are both pretentious and shameless. Leo didn't know where he came from. He supported Renee and looked at me with a hint of condemnation. Lacey, you weren't like this before. Hee hee. So this is where they are waiting for me. I rolled my eyes at them. Then what should I be like? Kneel down and bless you? The thickness of your skins is more than enough to be used as bulletproof vests. Leo looked at me with a gloomy face for a few seconds. Then suddenly he smiled, with a hint of smugness in his eyes. Lacey, you don't need to say angry words. I know you definitely can't forget me. As long as you are willing, we can start over at any time. No. Who gave him such confidence? I had a smile on my face. Yes, I still can't forget you. He was delighted for a moment. But in the next second, his expression was broken by my words. Every time I see a trash can on the side of the road, I think of you. Too lazy to talk nonsense with them. I turned around and opened the door. But I saw Sean was about to come out. He glanced at the other two people in front of the door. His eyebrows slightly wrinkled. Subtly, he protected me behind him. Do you two have something? Leo's face became even uglier. He stared closely at the half of my face that was exposed. He was almost gnashing his teeth. Is he that man? I raised my eyebrow slightly. So what if he is? After saying that, I poked Sean's lower back, signaling him to cooperate. He looked down at me playfully. In an instant, he put on the posture of a flirtatious male mistress. Yes. Who let you have no ability to keep her heart? After saying that, he looked the two of them up and down again. Your taste is really bad. But you two are a perfect match, just like a turtle and a mung bean. I secretly gave him a thumbs up. Leo's face turned green with anger. His fists were clenched tightly, and the veins on his hands bulged. You and him haven't broken up yet? Why should we break up? Where can I find such a good-looking man if we break up? As I said this, I put my arm around Sean's and pretended to be affectionate. Right? honey. The interest in his eyes grew stronger, but he still said, "It's an honor for my face to be liked by you. In order to discuss these two people in front of us, Sean and I have made great sacrifices." At this moment, Leo's usually gentle face was covered with dark clouds, like an enraged lion. "It's just a gigolo. You abandon me for such a person?" I gave him a faint sideways glance. "Leo, it was you who cheated. Didn't I say it? I will break off cleanly with Renee." He wanted to come forward and grab me, but was stopped by Sean. Renee's face turned pale on the side. She looked at Leo in disbelief. Suddenly, I felt extremely bored. They were not worth any of my attention at all. "It has nothing to do with me. You and her, both stay away." After saying that, I held Sean's arm and entered the private room, shutting all the filth outside. On the way to send me home, Sean would glance over from time to time. His behavior made me have the urge to tease him. I pretended to be lost in thought and looked ahead. The cold white moonlight shone on my face, adding a touch of melancholy. Sean seemed even more panicked. "I'll take you to settle scores with him." I really couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. "Okay, you tricked me." Although he said that, I could clearly feel that he was much relieved. I stepped on the uncleared snow on the side of the road one step at a time. "Don't worry. I don't care about it anymore. I just find it annoying." He didn't say anything else and followed behind me, covering my footprints all the way. In Austria, Sean liked to do this. When asked why, he just smiled mysteriously. It was silent all around. Only the creaking sound of shoes stepping on the snow could be heard. Suddenly, I thought of the painting I gave him when we said goodbye. I don't know if he liked it. Thinking like this, I turned around and looked at Sean while walking backward slowly. "Do you still like that painting?" He seemed to think of something interesting. A smile spread across his lips. "I like it very much. I framed it and hung it in the piano room. Shelley said that I in this painting look like I'm with 100 layers of filters." "Haha, I'll take it as you praising my good painting." I turned around and slipped. He quickly reached out and held me, giving a helpless smile. It seemed that when I was with Sean, I would unconsciously be like a child and be myself freely. I slowed down and walked side by side with him, speaking in a cheerful tone. "By the way, how is your piano piece? Has it been released?" Sean laughed softly. His voice was clear and beautiful. "The piece has been released and has received a great response. Many people commented that this piano piece reminded them of the howling wind, the white snow, the lofty mountains and the warmest smiling face deep in their memory." As he said this, he looked at me, his eyes shining brightly. I also tilted my head and looked at him, showing a big smile. "That's great. I believe that in time, you will definitely be able to realize your dream. By then, your parents will surely not stop you anymore." He stopped walking, there was an unknown emotion surging in his eyes. "Then let's work hard together?" I looked into his eyes in the moonlight. "Let's work hard together." 17 The cooperation is progressing very smoothly. But today, the atmosphere in the company is strange. My colleagues looked at me with strange eyes and were whispering and discussing something. I suppressed the doubts in my heart and planned to report to Lena. However, I learned that she had been called away by the boss. Colleague Yvonne was very nervous. "Lacey, are you okay? The boss is almost going crazy. What could happen to me? Why are everyone acting so strangely after not seeing each other for a while?" Seeing my puzzled face, she pointed at her phone and said silently, "Look at the hot search." I frowned and clicked into the hot search list and found that my name was hanging on it. Hashtag Lacey get out of the design circle. Hashtag genius designer Lacey plagiarizes. Hashtag. I was stunned and quickly clicked in. There were curses everywhere inside. I just said that with her coquettish look. She doesn't look like someone who does design with heart. I didn't expect that she would steal someone else's design. How shameless. That's right. Who knows what dirty means she used to get someone else's design. Scum of the design circle, get out of the design circle. Just because of people like you, those of us who are serious and hardworking have no chance to stand out. Lacey, get out of the design circle. Yvonne was so anxious that she was about to jump up. Don't look at the comments. Look at that picture. I fixed my eyes and saw a manuscript. It was extremely similar to the new product I designed, and the completion time was several days earlier than mine. But this is clearly my first draft. Lacey, what's going on? The company is in chaos today. Yvonne leaned close to my ear and whispered in a very soft voice. Tens of thousands of people have flooded into the company's live streaming room and are all scolding us. They also said that they will ask for a refund if they place an order. The boss's face turned black when he knew about this. I haven't figured this out yet when a sharp rebuke came. Lacey, come to my office. As soon as I entered the office, the air pressure was extremely low. Gavin's face was livid. He picked up the folder on the table and threw it at me. Plagiarism? How dare you? I value you and give you a job. But you, on the contrary, have overturned the whole thing for me. I didn't dare to speak. I had never seen Gavin so angry. Lena nudged me as if asking me to explain. I had to brace myself and say, Gavin, I really didn't plagiarize. That was my first draft. According to company regulations, it should have been shredded by the shredder long ago. I don't know where that picture on the internet came from. Gavin was furious and slapped the table. You don't know. Then do I know? Impact. 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 How can we eliminate the company's negative impact? Can we still sell goods in the live streaming room? What will our partners think of us? Suspension without pay. General Manager Leong asked the personnel department to draft a dismissal letter. If public opinion can't be controlled, I can only pacify the public anger first. Lena was panicked. Gavin, Lacey wouldn't plagiarize. She was brought by me. I know this child. Knowing is useless. Don't I know? The question is how to solve it. Seeing their distressed looks, I also understood the company's difficulties. Gavin, Lena, I'll go home first. I'll do my best to solve this matter. If public opinion can't be controlled, Lacey will respect all the company's decisions. Coming out of the office, our design team 1 was very depressed. In team 2, which was severely suppressed by us in this new product release, many people showed sarcasm. Renee's petty face was clearly visible. Some people just produce a good work and then look down on others every day. As a result, it turns out to be plagiarized. Isn't it funny? Someone in Team 2 echoed her. Who says it isn't? If I were her, I would have found a crack in the ground and hidden in it long ago. How could I still have the face to see people? I ignored them and concentrated on packing my things. Renee hit Cotton with one punch. It seemed that there was a breath stuck in her chest. She reached out to snatch my drawing. What are you pretending for? You've been exposed for plagiarism. Do you think Yinshang will still cooperate with you? I frowned and grabbed her hand, warning sternly, as long as Shelley doesn't say anything, my cooperation with him will not be broken. If the design draft leaks out, it's not something you can afford. Renee withdrew her hand and snorted, Humph, who knows if these drafts are plagiarized? The personnel department is already making a dismissal letter. What are you pretending for? Yvonne couldn't stand it and wanted to help me speak, but was stopped by others. I didn't fall into the trap of self-proof and answered calmly, before the matter is settled, you are causing trouble within the company. Can I think that? You don't want the company to get through this crisis? What are you talking nonsense? Let's see how long you can still be stubborn. Renee's eyes were panicked. After leaving this sentence, she left. At the elevator entrance of the company, Leo seemed to have been waiting there for a long time. When he saw me coming, his eyes were unclear. I can help you. I frowned and ignored him. Leo has now reached the position of supervisor. He does have accumulated many resources in various business contacts. But if he can do it, the company can naturally do it too. The elevator arrived soon. Seeing that I was about to enter, Leo grabbed my wrist. He stared at me intently as if he wanted to devour me alive. Is it so hard to just ask me for help? I looked at him calmly. Why should I and on what basis should I ask you? Even if I really disappear completely this time, it has nothing to do with you. After saying that, I shook him off and walked into the elevator. In the gap that was closing little by little, his eyes became extremely sharp and full of intimidating coldness. I suddenly remembered when I was in college and was the victim of malicious rumors. Just because I gave first aid to an uncle who had a sudden cerebral infarction when I was doing a part-time job off campus. He went to the restaurant to express his gratitude. We had a meal together and then he sent me back to school. The next day, pictures of me coming back in a luxury car at night spread wildly in the college. All kinds of rumors spread everywhere. They said that on the surface I was noble and diligent in part-time work to support my studies, but in fact I was being kept by someone. The increasingly fierce rumors, the talks with teachers, and the sarcasm and malicious from people around me. All of these made me hover on the verge of collapse. Grandma also committed suicide at that time. I clearly remember that when I went out, there was still a smile on her face. Grandma said, "I'll make pig's trotters noodles for you when you come back at night." But when I got home again, both the noodles and her body were cold. There was a suicide note on the table, crooked, and only one sentence was written. Grandma hopes that Xiaobao can be happy and not have to worry about money or me. I sat with her body in my arms all night, and then calmly ate the pig's trotters noodles bit by bit. I swallowed all the sleeping pills at home. It was Leo who saved me. Like the warm sun in winter, warming me inch by inch. It's a pity that things have changed. I pulled back my thoughts and steadied my mind. I survived that time, and I will be the same this time. Not long after arriving home, Shelley called. "I just saw on the internet that your company has issued a suspension. After these days of cooperation, no one knows your talent better than I do. Don't worry. As long as this series of works is published, all the rumors will collapse on their own." Although I knew long ago that Shelley would not be someone who goes with the flow, I still couldn't help feeling a warmth in my heart. "Thank you for your trust. I will definitely work hard and not let you down or myself down." Before Shelley could utter a syllable, her phone was snatched away. Sean said anxiously, "Are you okay? The insults on the internet are too harsh. Don't look at them." I had someone check. Obviously there is someone behind this pushing. "Do you want me to help you lower the heat first?" Unlike Leo's help, this is a heart full of sincerity. "Thank you, Sean." Things finally calmed down there. I said softly again, "Don't worry about me. The company will have countermeasures. What I should do most now is to do a good job in designing the series continuation of new products so that I won't everyone's trust in me." Sean sighed, "What are your plans next? Do you want to come to the studio and focus on design?" This proposal is good. Just in time, I need to discuss the details of the design draft with Shelley. "Okay. I'll transfer the rent, utilities, and so on for this period to you at the price of downtown." He readily agreed. "Okay. Do you want me to help you move your things?" "No need. I don't have many things. I'll trouble you later." I was very quick and moved into the studio that night. It's the room prepared by Sean. 29, a bit too pink. Shelley passed by silently and snorted at Sean. Sean was already ashamed enough to dig a hole with his toes. At this moment, he found an outlet. The two of them were joking and playing, which relieved my heavy mood a lot. Shelley and I soaked in the office every day. Sean was like our mother. Every day, except for practice time, he cared about whether we were cold, hungry, and whether we needed to take a break. Finally, after a week, Shelley and I came out with 4 dark circles under our eyes. Under the pressure of the company, the heat of this matter has dropped a lot, but the topic is still on the list. I sorted out the final draft and related design concepts, etc., and made a new product preview. Shelley posted it that night and at me. Pleasant cooperation. The internet instantly exploded. Anyone who knows a little about design can see that this is the same series as the work I was accused of plagiarizing. The theme of this design is Zhuangzhou dreaming of a butterfly. I took the opportunity to forward Shelley's Weibo and did some editing on the videos taken in Austria. They are all sources of inspiration incorporated into the design, especially the grand scene of the ice butterfly. It is the most intuitive source of inspiration for my first design draft. Oh my god, I don't want to say more. Boss, please accept my worship. There are so many geniuses in this world. Why can't there be one more me? I only have one feeling after watching it, and that is jealousy. Damn it, it's designed so awesomely. Of course, there are still a small number of people saying that I used improper means to get Shelley to help with the design. But those who know the business know that a person's most fundamental design style will not change. For a while, netizens all flocked to the account that slandered me for plagiarism and asked what was going on. That mysterious account seemed to suddenly fall silent, but the topic's heat was still rising. I took the opportunity to start a live broadcast as a preview conference for the new product release. Oh my God, who understands it? The video is hundreds of times better than the photo. I declare that I will be the most loyal believer of this beautiful sister all my life. I can't even imagine if I could get her. The one in front, don't think about it first. Let me think about it first. The barrage of comments scrolled past. I focused on making new product previews and answering and discussing some professional questions. After a live broadcast, I gained countless fans. At the end of the live broadcast, when I talked about the original intention of choosing clothing design, my eyes were full of nostalgia. When I was very young, I had a period of time when I didn't have enough clothes and food. Later, Grandma picked me up and took me to collect garbage and scraps every day. When we had saved enough money, she would take me to the tailor's shop to make clothes. The aunt there took my measurements. Soon after, she could make a set of fitting and beautiful clothes. But Grandma hardly has any new clothes. At that time, I thought that when I grow up, I will also let Grandma and everyone be able to wear cheap, comfortable and beautiful clothes. Later in college, in an ancient town, I met a very powerful designer. He told me that fashion design is awe-inspiring because it represents free will and non-compromise. Fashion is not for unifying aesthetics and distinguishing you from me, but for allowing everyone to face up to and accept themselves. Everyone has the freedom to be himself. Finally, I hope that all those present and absent can embrace the most complete version of themselves. After the live broadcast ended, I posted another Weibo, thanking Grandma, thanking Lena and the company, thanking Yuncheng Studio, and the soul that collided with each other in a foreign country. After posting on Weibo, I looked at the courtyard. Sean had just put a scarf around the snowman. Seeing me looking over, he waved at me and shouted, "Let's go set off fireworks." My heart seemed to be instantly filled with something. Just like the bowl of pig's trotters noodles that Grandma cooked for me every New Year's Eve. Warm and steaming. After the release of the new product preview, the rumors collapsed on their own. My popularity inside and outside the industry suddenly increased. The company soon sent a notice asking me to return and report. On the day I returned to the company, the department was very lively and a special welcome ceremony was held for me. Gavin greeted me with a smile and said, "Shaolin, I really didn't misjudge you. You've been wrong this time. Feel free to ask for anything you want. This incident started because of me. It's only right that I settle it. I also have to thank the company for being willing to give me a chance. I didn't become complacent. Instead, I was respectful and humble." The appreciation in Gavin's eyes grew stronger. I discussed with General Manager Liang. For the company's newly created affordable brand, you will be the chief designer. I looked at him in surprise. Lena came over and patted me. "What are you standing there stupidly for? Hurry up and thank Gavin." I quickly thanked Gavin and Lena repeatedly. They said a few more formal words and then went out to handle business. As soon as the two left, everyone gathered around me and was happy for me. Only Renee and a few people from the second group had livid expressions. Yvonne strolled in front of Renee and the others, looking everywhere but not at them. "Oh," I said, "who was making so much noise before? Why is there no sound today?" Some other colleagues followed up with sarcasm, "Yes, why doesn't the barking dog come out and bark anymore?" I stepped on high heels, step by step, and slowly walked up to Renee. "Are you satisfied with what you see now?" Her plastic sisters hid behind her like quails. Renee gritted her back molars. "What are you so arrogant about? If you can be it, so can I." I glanced at her and said indifferently, I'll be waiting. As it was getting close to off-duty time, I took out my phone and was about to contact Sean. Suddenly, there was an exclamation beside me. Oh my God, isn't that a Lamborghini Veneno? There are only 12 in the world. It's a one-of-a-kind among one-of-a-kind. I can't even imagine how cheerful a little girl I would be sitting on it. If you can't imagine it, then I can't either. I took a look at the car parked at the door. It was indeed very handsome, but it had nothing to do with us ordinary people. Just as I was about to call Sean, Leo popped out from nowhere and stopped me. Congratulations. Just now they came back from the meeting and said that this opportunity to study in Milan is basically yours. I thanked him perfunctorily and wanted to go around him and leave, but was blocked. Is there anything else? I said impatiently. He grabbed me, looking haggard. Lacey, let's not fight anymore, okay? The whole thing with Renee was all her wishful thinking. From the beginning to the end, I only love you. A creature who thinks with his lower body is talking to me about love. I only find it disgusting and ridiculous. I almost immediately shook him off. Don't touch me. It's dirty. Leo's expression instantly changed and his eyes were extremely cold. Just because of that? Even now he doesn't think he's wrong and is still blaming others. I don't want to talk to him anymore, but my wrist is tightly held. Just then, the scissor doors of the sports car at the door slowly opened. A familiar figure strode over. Now not only Leo, but I was also stunned. Sean? He smiled at me, and then forcefully grabbed Leo's wrist, making him let go instantly due to the pain. Many people around stopped and looked over. Oh my God, is this going to be a real-life version of a domineering president falling in love with me? Judging from this situation, Leo doesn't seem to be ready to let go. I bet 50 cents. The ex-husband will definitely lose. I really wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Leo's complexion wasn't good either. But Sean was smiling and seemed to be enjoying it. Leo stared directly at me. Lacey, are you trying to drive me to death? Just like driving Grandma to death? In just an instant, I felt as if the blood in my entire body had solidified. There was only a buzzing roar in my head. No, it's not. Clearly it's not my fault. In the next second, a wave of warmth enveloped my hand. Sean's voice was cold. You know better than anyone about the death of her grandma. If you want to die, go die somewhere else and don't get in the way. He just gave me a comforting look, and then took me away. What did you mean by those words just now? As soon as I got in the car, I couldn't help but ask Sean. He handed over a craft paper bag, his face solemn. I only found out recently and was planning to tell you later. I couldn't care less about these. I took out the materials inside and flipped through them. Although it was black text on a white background, I saw full of malice and blood and tears. My hands flipping the pages couldn't stop trembling. I couldn't imagine at all that I had spent 8 years with a devil. The rumors about me, Grandma's death, and even this time's false accusation were all Leo's doing. He spread malicious rumors about me and added fuel to the fire. Let Grandma misunderstand that I went to find a sugar daddy to take care of her. In the end, she drank pesticide and committed suicide at home. When Renee anonymously framed me, he promoted the development of public opinion and wanted to ruin my reputation. Suddenly everything became clear. In order to get me and control me through PUA, as long as he can achieve the result he wants, whether it's me or the people around me, he doesn't care about anyone's feelings. Anger almost devoured all my sanity. What did I do wrong? What did Grandma do wrong? She lived a poor and kind life all her life, but in the end, because of Leo, she didn't have a good end. I want him to pay the due price. Sean seemed to sense something. Looking at me, his gaze was firm. If you need any help, just tell me. I will always be here. Although I know he is different from Leo. But at this moment, I really don't have the mood to say much more to him. I forced a smile. Thank you. The meal tonight may not happen. Can you trouble to take me home? A trace of self-blame and pity flashed in his eyes. Sure. Sean sent me to the downstairs of my unit. As he turned around, he called out to me. There was an inexplicable panic in his eyes, as if I would disappear completely in the next second. I sighed softly, stepped forward and rubbed his head. I won't do stupid things. Trust me. Sean stared at me, and then slowly and firmly pulled me into his arms. I have always believed in you. Suddenly, my eyes became hot and a sour emotion kept surging up. Tears instantly moistened the side of his neck. He didn't say much. His big palm stroked the back of my head gently, calming my mood. Snowflakes like goose feathers were falling in the sky, landing on Sean's eyebrows and eyes, alternating between white and black. Sean, I will definitely make them pay the due price. Sure. After returning home, I sorted out the evidence of Leo's infidelity. After dealing with name abbreviations and so on, I anonymously posted it on the internet that night. The evidence and materials that Sean gave me were directly handed over to the police. Public opinion developed as rapidly as always. Leo and Renee were like rats crossing the street, and everyone avoided them. The police also acted quickly. At the same time they were suspended from their jobs, they came to the company to take them back for investigation. Renee looked defeated, like a withered flower. Leo instantly locked onto me, his eyes red. It's you. As his words fell, everyone looked at me. I sneered. Wasn't it you who did those things? I love you so much, yet you treat me like this? Have you forgotten who saved you back then? Under the guise of love, spreading malicious rumors about me, killing Grandma, and framing me for plagiarism. Without you, I wouldn't have to go through all this at all. Why do you say you saved me? Clearly a perpetrator, yet approaching me in the posture of a savior. Making me ridiculously stay with the murderer who killed Grandma for so long. At the thought of this, anger and disgust almost overwhelmed me. Leo still remained unrepentant. It's all because of you, Lacey. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have done those things. Finally, I couldn't hold back and slapped him hard. People like you don't deserve to live at all. After I said that, the police seemed to be unable to stand it anymore and quickly took him away. Leo went crazy and kept shouting all the way, it's all because of you, Lacey. Leo still remained unrepentant. It's all because of you, Lacey. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have done those things. Finally, I couldn't hold back and slapped him hard. People like you don't deserve to live at all. After I said that, when the investigation results came out, the company confirmed that they would send me to Milan for further studies. In the end, Leo was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Renee and several people who cyberbullied me the most severely were detained for 10 days and fined 500 yuan. On the day Renee came out, I went to take a look. She was still a delicate flower, but the light in her eyes was gone. I originally wanted to ask her if she regretted it. Later, I thought it was completely unnecessary. Renee rushed over and grabbed me tightly the moment she saw me. Why? Wouldn't it be better if you were just as mediocre as before? Why did you steal my person? Why did you steal my chance to go to Milan for further study? She looked crazy, crying and laughing at the same time. She looked extremely pitiful. But like Leo, from beginning to end, she was always pushing all the blame onto others. People who do bad things never think what they do is bad. I pushed her away forcefully. Her slender nails left a long blood stain on my arm, like a flower in full bloom. Renee, it's always you who has made you like this. I turned around, left everything in the past behind me, and strode forward. On the night before going to Milan, Sean and I took a car to the riverside to drink. It was almost Chinese New Year. There were very few people by the river. The dim light cast two tall and slender figures. I pulled him to sit on a chair. The cold wind blew in gusts, making people's faces hurt. Only after taking a sip of hot wine did warmth gradually rise. Sean, besides playing the cello, is there anything else you want to do? He looked at the calm river surface, his eyes very bright. I didn't know before. Now, I want everyone to be able to eat hot meals and wear fitting and warm clothes. I lowered my eyes and smiled faintly, and took another sip of wine. Neither of us spoke anymore and quietly watched the tiny snowflakes drift towards the river. When the wine was all drunk, Sean's clear voice penetrated the cold wind and reached my ears. Lacey. He turned to look at me, his face slightly flushed from drinking, and his clear eyes sparkled. I suddenly knew what Sean wanted to say. But whether it was the gap between us or my current situation, it was not suitable to talk about these. I reached out and adjusted his scarf for him. The slightly cool fingertips touched the skin on his neck, causing him to shiver slightly. Sean, don't say it. My voice was very soft, as if it would be blown away by the wind in the next second. He was stunned for a moment, and his quivering long eyelashes could hardly suppress the sadness in his eyes. After an unknown amount of time, Sean squeezed out a sentence in a hoarse voice, okay. The next day, I packed everything up and went to the airport. Lena and several colleagues came to see me off. Several people were in tears, as if they would never see me again. Sean didn't come. Well, who would come to see someone off after being rejected? I waved at them. At the moment of turning around, I heard that familiar voice. Lacey. I didn't know whether there was more happiness or more sourness in my heart. I adjusted my mood and turned around again, looking at Sean with a smile. He ran over panting, without his usual elegance and unruliness, but still as beautiful as when we first met. Lena and the others silently made way for us. Sean seemed to start to get nervous only now, looking at me without a word. I couldn't help teasing him, if you don't speak, I'm going to board the plane. He gave me a dark glare, and then said solemnly, I won't give up on you like this. Seeing the smile spreading from the corners of my eyes and brows, Sean continued, no, it should be said that I will catch up with you. The broadcast was already urging boarding. I didn't respond to him. I just waved at him, just like the first airport farewell. I don't know what the future will be like. But I know that my future has just begun.